Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, a time to recognize and support families who've experienced that unimaginable heartbreak. It's also a moment to shine a light on the strength and the healing that can follow. Abbe Feder is the founder of InCircle Fertility and the host of Women's Wellness with Abbe Feder. She's joining us to share hope for those who are navigating loss, treatment, or family building challenges. Abbe, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
It's such an important topic to cover. I think it's more common than a lot of people realize because a lot of people don't want to talk about it. I know you have a firsthand experience, and I think it's so important and brave of you to want to share that.
Thank you. When I went through my first miscarriage, which was about 3 years into trying to have a baby, I was finally pregnant. I had done IVF, so I thought I had a guarantee. It was shocking to me that I could still go through a miscarriage, and I had no tools. I was not equipped at all to deal with it.
Yeah.
Also, I think people assume that a miscarriage happens sort of quickly.
Right.
That like one day you're pregnant and one day you're not, and sometimes miscarriage can take weeks, months. I was not expecting that. And so I just wished at the time that I had had somebody to really shepherd me through the process, and I didn't.
Yeah, and so now you're being that for other women because as you said, the more you talk about things, the more you realize the normal parts of it, which yes, I've had friends who have gone through this and I thought the same thing. Well, this is a one-day thing, and it's like, it's really hard emotionally to have to go through something like that for days, sometimes weeks.
Exactly, and emotionally, it could even last years. Physically, sometimes it lasts weeks, months for it to clear your body. And that is why I created my company, just to be able to hold the hands of women who are going through this journey, whether it's IVF, infertility, miscarriage. People don't always realize that IVF and miscarriage are extremely linked. So I'm there to hold their hands through all of it. All
right, so 10 to 20% of all known pregnancies end in miscarriage. It's a number that surprises a lot of people because I do think people think this is something that's rare.
Yeah, actually that number is even higher. It's 1 in 4 pregnancies, so 25%.
That's really high.
1 in 4. You think about going to dinner with your girlfriends and 4 of you are sitting at a table, most likely one of you will go through it or have gone through it. That's why it's so insane that we don't talk about it more. Because a lot of times we talk about it when it's in hindsight. I went through this. But women need us to show up for them when they're going through it so that they can feel prepared to go through it and have the tools that they need.
Absolutely. What are some of the most common misconceptions you hear around it?
Well, the biggest one I would think is that it's the woman's fault. 50% of miscarriages can be attributed to the woman and 50% to the man. It's also a misconception that the woman is the only one feeling anything like sadness or grief to go through it. The men are feeling it too. Then again, that misconception that it happens very quickly. These things can linger physically and emotionally for weeks and months.
Absolutely. So that's the part I want to know. What do you tell women and men, couples experiencing this loss, to make them feel better about it, to get through it, to have the hope to try again?
Yeah, and you know what? Every person is different, and however you want to mark it or grieve it is okay. So I tell people that I work with, if it feels good to you to have a ceremony, create a ritual, whether it's on the certain day that you were expecting, have a walk on the beach, or create some sort of physical memorial that you want to honor every year. And 10 years down the road, if you feel like that grief is lighter, you don't have to keep doing it. There's no wrong way to grieve. However you want to mark it is okay, but do feel it if you need to feel it, and do mark it if you need to mark it.
So you can process that and actually let it go. What can people who are family, friends, workplaces do to support families who are going through this? Because I think it's also, as I said, I've had friends go through this, and you almost don't know what is the right thing to say.
I totally agree. The best thing to do is show up, and that means something different to everyone. Something like, I'm thinking of you as a text can go a million miles. I'm a big fan of like, I'm going to show up at your house at 5 o'clock and bring dinner. We can talk about it. We don't have to talk about it. It's up to you, but I'm going to be there for you. A lot of times somebody grieving might push you away, and you can say, do you really want to push me away, or can I sit in this grief with you? Can we walk around the block together? You don't have to talk about it, or you could talk about it. And always ask them if they want to talk about it, because if you ignore it, or you, like you said, you think, ooh, I don't want to bring this up because what
or
if
say the wrong thing.
Say the wrong thing. Like, honesty is the best policy. You can say, I really don't want to say the wrong thing, but I want you to know that I'm here for you. As far as workplaces, give time off. As I mentioned, it could take weeks, months for emotional healing to happen. We're starting to get better about this in the workplace. So give people the time off that they need. If somebody were grieving the loss of a parent, for example, you would never say, be back to work tomorrow, be back to work next week. It would make total sense. So having those time off available options to workers, I think is huge.
I do want to end on a positive and
Yes.
hopeful note, you went on to have children, which I also think is a misconception, that people think, oh, if you've had a miscarriage, then you're going to continue having them. I know many people who then to go on and have multiple children.
That's exactly right. And I have to say, I have twins. They're almost 7. It took them almost 7 years to get here. So they've been in the world almost as long as it took me to have them.
Wow.
And you know, the losses from my miscarriages, they don't go away, but they certainly feel much more healed once you have your own children. And look, I never like to say don't give up, because pivoting or deciding after your IVF journey you don't want to have children is not giving up. It's just pivoting. But honoring what your mental health can handle in the moment is the best way to keep hope.
Wow, Abbe. Well, I really admire your strength and being able to talk through this so that other women, when they go through it, have someone to look to. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much.
You can find more about InCircle Fertility on our website. Just head to cbsla.com/seen on TV.